everyone, today's video is about when he's obsessed with your small waist, and as time passes by, he accidentally makes you develop an eating disorder. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and let's get going. It started small. You were dating Bakugou, and he was intense to say the least. He always had this fixation on your waist, his fingers constantly ghosting over it when you were close, pulling you into him. Sometimes he would smirk and mumble, "Small as hell, it's cute." At first, his compliments were thrilling. You loved the way he adored you, how he couldn't keep his hands off you. But over time, those little comments started to change. It was one night at a dinner with friends. He had ordered your favorite dish. And to be honest, it was quite heavy, sure, but you hadn't treated yourself in a while. As you laughed with the others, savoring every bite, you didn't notice Bakugo watching you. Not until he leaned close, voice low in your ear. "Shouldn't you slow down?" he said, his hand firm on your waist. "Don't want to getting all puffy, yeah?" You had brushed it off, chuckling. "Come on, Katsuki, it's just one meal." He shrugged, lips curling into that familiar smirk, though there was a hint of something sharper behind it. "Just saying, I like you as you are, don't need you changing." The comment lingered with you, uninvited, like a pebble in your shoe. You told yourself that he didn't mean anything by it, that he was just being his blunt self. But after that night, you started thinking twice before reaching for an extra serving, catching his glances whenever you did. Over time, his comments became more frequent. One night I had gotten home late and ordered takeout. Bakugo eyed the boxes with a raised eyebrow as he set them on the table. "You really need all of that?" he asked, propping one of the lids open with a frown. "I was hungry. I barely had lunch," you said, trying to sound lighthearted. He sighed, leaning against the counter with his arms crossed. "Yes, but there's a difference between eating and overeating. You don't want to regret it later, right?" The word stung, but you forced a smile, nodding. "Yeah, I got it." That night, you pushed most of the food aside. The warmth and hunger replaced by a cold, knowing uncertainty. You didn't want to think less of you. Didn't want to disappoint him. So bit by bit, you started eating less. Just small adjustments that you told yourself. But as the weeks went by, those small adjustments turned into bigger ones. Soon, you were even skipping meals without realizing it, substituting dinner with a simple glass of water or a few crackers. Bakugo's approving looks, the way his hands lingered on your waist when he thought you looked especially small, they kept you going. You felt a strange kind of satisfaction, even pride, when he would brush his fingers over your waist and say things like, "There it is, babe. I knew you could keep it slim." These were days, though, when you felt weaker. A hazy sort of dizziness creeping into your vision. You'd lean on the counter for support or take a few breaths, hoping the feeling would pass, and Bakugo never seemed to notice, or if he did, he wouldn't say anything. One evening you were at home alone. Bakugo had gone out to train, leaving you to finish some work. He had barely eaten all day, trying to hold out just a bit longer, but eventually, the hunger was too much, and you tried to search through the fridge, pulling out whatever you could find. As you sank to the floor, eating, a sense of guilt washed over you, Bakugo's voice echoing in your mind. "Don't want to getting all puffy." You set the food down, the shame twisting your stomach. The next thing you knew, Bakugo was coming through the door, catching sight of you sitting on the floor, your face pale and dazed. He frowned, approaching you with a puzzled look. "What are you doing there?" he asked, kneeling beside you. He tried to smile, but it felt strained. Just resting. He glanced at the food containers beside you, his eyes narrowing. You're not supposed to eat that much. Katsuki, I can't keep doing this. He blinked, surprised by the rawness in your voice. What is it that you're talking about? I feel like I'm not enough, always. Like I'm never going to be enough. He whispered. I have tried so hard to be what you want, but I can't anymore. For the first time, Bakugou looked taken aback, the realization dawning in his eyes. He reached out, his fingers brushing your cheek gently. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just saying that you're fine the way you are. You shook your head, swallowing back a sob. I don't even know if I can believe you anymore. A silence fell between you. Finally, he sighed, pulling you into his arms. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel like this. He stayed like that for a while, leaning into him, letting yourself feel the comfort in his arms, and slowly began to find your way back, one day at a time, knowing that you were supposed to be enough, just as you are, even if it wasn't to him. You didn't care anymore. In the next few days, Baku's apology lingered in your mind, but the hurt ran deep, and healing wouldn't come quickly. He seemed to sense this, his normally brash demeanor giving way to a softer, more watchful side. It was unfamiliar, this side of him that was patient, almost gentle, but it gave you a small sense of comfort. One morning, you were sitting at the kitchen table, trying to work up the nerve to finish the small breakfast that you had prepared for yourself. You should eat a bit more, he said quietly, breaking the silence that was between you. You need the energy. You looked up, and of surprise flashing in your eyes. He was not criticizing you, pointing out your weight, or making any comments about staying small. It was just a simple statement, caring and unguarded. You offered him a small smile, picking up your fork and taking a bite, though you still felt the familiar knot of an anxiety in your stomach. He moves closer. I didn't mean to make you feel this way, like you had to change. I've just always thought that you were perfect. It didn't feel that way to me, Katsuki. I thought if I wasn't what you wanted, you would stop caring. I'm not good at this, alright? I don't know how to show stuff the right way, but I do care. More than I probably should. Why don't you just say that then? 'Cause I'm an idiot. I thought if I pushed you a little, then maybe you, I don't know, stay as you were. Didn't realize I was just screwing it up. But I don't need you to be any different. I just need you to be here with me. I'll stay. But I need you to stay with me too, even on the bad days. I will. Promise. And in that moment, you knew that he actually meant it. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye.